wants you. We can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what is cracking? It is me, Kraken Nation, your coach of the Boston Bisharps. Yeah, that's me. So, going some quick recap. We're coming off a stinging loss in Week 5 to the Zion Zards that unfortunately put our next week opponent ahead of us. We are this week in Week 6. We are facing Alpha Horace, coach of the Magcargo Tel-Aviv. This is a team that's given us a lot of trouble in the past. We've had to use some really crazy stuff before to even just put up a fight in the past. Alpha's a great player, so I'm a little nervous. I'm very nervous. Who am I kidding? So unfortunately with the loss to Zion Zards, Alpha did manage to pull away. We are the two leaders in our respective divisions, and Alpha is currently the conference leader with above me by I think 4 points of differential. So unfortunately I have to make a very strong comeback if I want to be able to contend with him at all. This battle is going to be a really big determining factor into who gets the bye and is able to pass straight to the semifinals. But looking at his team, we can delve into it a little bit here. I'm expecting, I'm going to make this yellow and yellow. I am expecting Mega Bombasnow, Clefable, Azumarill, Mandibuzz, Metagross, Tyrantrum, Scrafty, Seismitoad, Pyroar, and Musharna. So, what does this mean? So, oh, my bad. So essentially, what we've got here is a lot of really defensive Pokemon, and this was something I really wanted to go into the battle thinking about. I need to find a way to shut down his defensive Pokemon. But we've got also, even when there's defensive Pokemon, there are bulky offensive Pokemon. There are no super fast threats on this team. The only fast attackers being, I think, Zapdos and Musharna. I have a switch into all of these too. Who am I kidding? Only fast ones being Pyroar and Musharna ultimately. So sorry, Pyroar and Zapdos. So I wanted to build a team and build around that. Mega Bombs and Azumarill are two bulky offensive attackers. Same thing goes for Metagross and Tyrantrum, and Scrafty is a great setup super. So there are offensive Pokemon mixed in the wings, but there's also Clefable, Mandibuzz, Seismitoad, Musharna, even honestly Zapdos are all a really great defensive Pokemon. We've seen Metagross take a more defensive type of role in leads with his team a lot. I'm not saying I'm going to assume that's what he's doing, but that's kind of what I want to one variable that I kind of want to expect. So, without further ado, we've got Mega Metacham, which is actually let's get into the team. We've got Mega Metacham, Leg Day, with Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt. I have Bullet Punch here as an emergency stop to Tyrantrum going off. Not sure if I'm going to need it. Honestly, I want to run some calcs for that. This is always what's great about these videos, is that when I start talking about things, I start running calcs for them. And that teaches me a lot about this, honestly. Tyrantrum. I want to be able to take Outrages. If it's a Lumberry. So if it's Life Orb, I'm screwed. Can't switch in. I'm going to have to know if it's a Life Orb or not, based on damage or something. Damn, that's scary. That's really scary. Regardless, let's continue. Bullet Punch is an emergency stop to Tyrantrum. I was considering putting Zen Headbutt in this last spot as a stop to that, and also to hit Azumarill pretty hard. And it hits a lot of things on this team. Honestly, just for the extra revenge killing capability, hits Mega Bombasnow, but I can already outspeed. But lets me outspeed Ice Shard mainly. But it does hit a lot of things on this team, but also doesn't hit Pyro very well. Doesn't hit Zapdos. A lot of things that I could potentially risk speed ties with. Doesn't hit Pyro. Doesn't risk Zapdos. It doesn't hit Metagross, and Metagross doesn't outspeed me. I guess Bullet Punch is what I'm talking about. Doesn't even hit Azumarill for that super effective. Doesn't hit Mandibuzz for almost any damage. So with that in mind, Bullet Punch or Zen Headbutt something I'm going to pay a lot more thought into. Ice Punch gives me a safe thing to hit all the Protect users that I am expecting on this team, just because I am running High Jump Kick this time around. Although I've never brought High Jump Kick to one of these battles as of yet. Or actually, I brought it to one, I think, maybe against Easy Bake. But yeah, this is a set I'm running, just good at Revenge Killing, good at all-out power. If I run Zen Headbutt here, Clefable becomes less of a switch-in, and that's pretty exciting, if to say the least. So that's the one thing I'm considering, because after High Jump Kick plus Zen Headbutt, if we plug in Mega Metacham, This is I am also running an adamant nature this time around. It's worth noting because I didn't really care about speed time with Zapdos. As if Zapdos comes in, I can't really do too much damage against it. I'm gonna have to expect what kind of set it is. I'm expecting to want to run a more defensive type set. I'm hesitant to say that though. I'm gonna have to switch into Mary Jane probably and see what he is, or Uxie for that matter. But then from there, if we plug in things such as Clefable, Unaware Wall, Clefable cannot really switch into High Jump Kick plus Zen Headbutt. If we calc the min roll damage on that, sorry, busting out my calculator. If we calc the min roll damage on that, that's going to end up being 42 plus 53, 95 damage, which is, I understand it is a good chance to OHKO because it's also going to get 2 turns of leftover recovery, which puts it safely out of KO range. But after rocks, that means it's basically a guaranteed KO after rocks, yeah. Would it count as, it only gets 1 turn of recovery, but that still puts it. But if we get max rolls both times, that also puts us safely in KO range even after leftovers. So that's honestly an option. I'm really gonna have to think about that. I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna run there honestly yet. That's Bullet Punch there for now, but I'm still thinking about it. We got Mary Jane the Vileplume. This is essentially our our best answer to Clefable and a lot of offensive Pokemon on this team actually. Namely Zapdos is what this thing is really able to stop, along with Scrafty to a certain extent if it's not running Zen Headbutt. Vileplume is actually a Pokemon we picked up through trade, which is the first trade the Boston Bisharps have ever done. Also, it actually helps against Azumarill, which is pretty awesome. I am EV'd to outspeed Clefable right now. I may want to invest a little bit more to outspeed Adamant Azumarill. I'm not sure what that hits. Let's check. Just in case it's the belly jetting. But if it's belly jetting Azumarill, I have Quagsire in the back right now. 199. Yeah, I don't want to invest that for hardcore into it. But yeah, so Mary Jane is awesome because it also has Sleep Powder that it hits everything except Mandibuzz, and I can really just like mess around with this team a lot. Synthesis gives me some reliable recovery. Effect Spore could be useful, just 30% chance of poison, paralysis, sleep. Maybe I could get some hacks. Of course, I'm not very physically defensive or specially defensive for that matter, but I can take hits from Clefable. As long as they're not psychic type attacks. Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain achieve great coverage, and this thing actually has a very, very solid offensive stat with Sludge Bomb. So Sludge Bomb can do a lot of damage to even neutral things. I'm honestly, if I see a Metagross, I'm gonna kind of expect it to want to switch into Sludge Bomb. And those are gonna be the kind of instances like the first turn this thing comes in, it's gonna be clicking Sleep Powder a lot because Metagross really is otherwise a pretty good counter to this thing. As I think a Vileplume, wow, I really profusely mistyped that. You can see HP Fire. If we plug in, and it does so much damage to Clefable. If we plug in, the thing is, Clefable can't wall everything on this team. It can't wall both the offensive and defensive, especially offensive and physically offensive Pokemon at the same time, which is kind of what I'm banking on in the end. I want to plug in. Oh my God, what am I saying? Who am I plugging in right now? Metagross with HP Fire. That's what I wanted to do. Metagross, let's say he's running full HP. You can tell it really does not do much damage. It's really not worth running, especially if we invest into attack at all and we give it a Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt's gonna really crazy bop us. That's an OHKO chance. And that's not even adamant yet. It's like OHKO chance even without. And if I'm taking other hits, it's like just not reliable. So this is not really a reliable answer. That's gonna fall down to Metagross and Mudflap and the Vision. But moving on, we've got Sharkbait the Garchomp coming back. Swords Dance, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Substitute. This thing can set up on things such as Mandibuzz, who use Toxic as a way to deal with, honestly, just a lot of Pokemon that deal with status as a way to deal with my team, which is going to be a lot of his more defense Pokemon, along with giving me some ease of prediction if things such as Musharna or Zapdos are trying to Toxic me, if Zapdos isn't running HP Ice. So I feel like a lot of things want to run HP Grass or HP Ice, which is going to be problematic for me figuring out which one they want to run. But this way, Garchomp has a nice little buffer to give it that room of a chance. Earthquake Stone Edge achieves perfect neutral coverage on this entire team. Can we talk about that? Super effective, neutral, super effective, super effective, super effective, neutral, super effective, neutral, super effective. That's that Edgequake combo coming clutch. From there though, I kind of want to switch this with potential Rock Slide. I kind of want to check Garchomp. OU Life Orb mixed attacker. If we make this Rock Slide versus Stone Edge, and we put in Mandibuzz, we make it max defense. Stone Edge and Rock Slide do like no damage to the Mandibuzz. The Mandibuzz is so bulky, it's disgusting. But if we go up to +2 defense, yeah, we're up at +2 defense, yeah. Stone Edge does have a pretty good, that makes a pretty big difference. Although Rock Slide can still do it before roosting. What if we plug in like a defensive Zapdos? That's something else I care about. I want to be able to Oko defensive Zapdos. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to be the Stone Edge just because it does secure KOs on things such as Zapdos, who Rock Slide is not going to be KOing. It isn't even fully physically defensive yet. So that's definitely gonna have to stay that way. Swords Dance, Earthquake, Stone Edge substitute. We are running speed EVs to outspeed. I always like that I outspeed Zapdos. So this outspeeds max speed Zapdos. So I always like that I put that little thing in there when I'm specifying a certain speed. I'm going to write max speed adamant there. And so SD, this is holding a Life Orb, so essentially Life Orb allows it to make it so that Clefable cannot switch in for free, Earthquake doing a lot of damage to it if it's not physically defensive, because if it wants to wall Manaphy effectively, it has to be specially defensive. So if we say Calm, Earthquake, you can see is now a 2-hit KO. So I'll be able to hopefully the goal is to be able to figure out what kind of spread that Clefable is running right off the bat. From there, we've got Salac Berry, Manaphy to clean up late game. Honestly, that's like what Manaphy's has been on my team recently. Manaphy isn't exactly a cleaner type role in a lot of stuff, but against slower teams such as this is a very, very slow team. Against slower teams such as this, the draft stats tell me that it's the best choice of action here is going to be to try to clean up with Manaphy. Once Clefable is down, I can honestly hit everything on this team very well, except it can't hit Mega Bombasnow. This is a very standard OU set, honestly. It doesn't hit Mega Bombasnow, but from there, hits Azumarill, hits Mandibuzz. Metagross cannot take Scalds. Tyrantrum cannot take... I think actually Tyrantrum might even be weak to Ice if Rock doesn't resist Ice. Tyrantrum, regardless, I'll figure that out there. Scrafty cannot take Scald. Seismitoad, Energy Ball. Pyroar, Scald. Although Pyroar is kind of a problem just because I have no strong special wall on this team, kind of relying on Uxie. And then Musharna, and then Zapdos. So it does hit basically everything on this team. And honestly, I'm pretty sure a normal Manaphy spread, like Pyroar cannot touch me. Even like let's say NU Special Attacker, Hyper Voice does not do that much damage. If Salac Berry is able to activate, that lets me outspeed any Scarf users because there are a lot of potential. Well, team middling speeds that Pokemon such as Metagross, Tyrantrum, and honestly Pyroar or Zapdos are Pokemon that like to run Scarfs a lot. So Salac Berry is going to give me an option to activate that Scarf in a situation where I might need it. Or it's essentially just a free Scarf. And so from there, I'll be able to hit all these things that would have otherwise outsped me. Pyroar no longer becomes a problem unless it's a Scarf Pyroar. Zapdos and Metagross also basically being handled. Of course, we still fear Bullet Punch when we're in a really low range of health. So we got Mudflap the Quagsire. Mudflap the Quagsire, while I know he's expecting me to bring it due to some controversy, Mudflap the Quagsire is great because it does really wall a lot of the physical Pokemon on the team, being Scrafty, Tyrantrum, and Metagross, and Bellyjet Azumarill, who are Pokemon that the team struggles with. Vileplume can pretty essentially check Wall Breaker and Physical Tank Assault Vest type variants of Vileplume. Of Azumarill, but unfortunately, Quagsire cannot handle Wall Breaker Azumarill very effectively, and for that reason, these two kind of form like a pseudo-defensive core. Quagsire also helps me with just a lot of things in this team. Metagross is not running Hidden Power Grass or Grass Knot, honestly, which everything in this team is probably going to be running Grass Knot, let's be real. If we open up the chat real quick, so if we had to open up the chat, and we look up learn Scrafty Grass Knot. Like everything learns Grass Knot. It has stupid distribution, and it's gonna hit me so hard. Like 1 second, let me plug in Quagsire here and show you that. Quagsire, Scrafty, say Are You Dragon Dance? Let's say Grass Knot. This is probably gonna be a nature that reduces my special attack. Yeah. Let's say it's naive, just because we don't want to do that. Let's see. You're gonna see Grass Knot does like already a 2-hit KO. And it's really annoying, honestly. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but what I'm kind of hoping is going to help us out is this Uxie set ultimately. I'm considering changing this for a choice band. I'm honestly not sure yet. It would suck to like choice scarf and a Azumarill that's like max like a, or like, it would suck to choice scarf some of these mons. Like Scarf Pyro might mess me up if I accidentally pass a scarf to the wrong Pokemon. But I also was considering band, and band also messes me up because like let's say I pass a scarf to Zapdos. Now Manaphy's gonna struggle more with Zapdos. But if I like a defensive Zapdos can now stop Manaphy because of that speeds. But if I pass a band and he switches in like Scrafty or something, like all of a sudden there's a pretty strong physical attacker right there. So with that, I really want to be really careful. Mainly this choice stop these defensive mons, Mandibuzz and Clefable specifically. Just because like it shuts it down. Fire Punch is pretty cool because it achieves a 2-hit KO on Mega Abomasnow, making this our only really good Mega Abomasnow switch-in, which if you haven't noticed is the biggest problem this team has. All we can do is check it with Mega Metacham and Manaphy. Like this team has a really big problem. So this is basically our only switch in Mega Abomasnow. Trick, Stealth Rock, Toxic, Fire Punch. Fire Punch also achieves KOs, or also does a lot of damage to Metagross, which is honestly the other thing that I was kind of worried about because like Metagross has such a versatile move pool. I can kind of lead with the Vision and fake a Stealth Rock setter, and have not expected the Scarf, which is going to be pretty exciting. But from there, yeah, I think that's the set. Toxic just helps me stall stuff out once it's tricked. Stealth Rock, obviously being my Stealth Rock setter because it does help against things such as Zapdos, Pyroar, and Mandibuzz. Also helps you achieve Clefable KOs, and Mega Abomasnow can't switch in very much. It just honestly, he has so many defoggers. He has 2 defoggers, and then 1 Magic Garter, but he also has so many defoggers also just weak to rocks. But yeah, this is the team I'm bringing. I hope it does well. This is going to be a very determining battle in the conference. So wish me luck. I will see you guys at the battle. Should happen soon. See you guys later. Kraken Nation out. Oh my god, Sludge Bomb is so OP. Oh my god. This is disgusting. Disable? Ooh, think you're sassy. But considering we are naive